Behold, the majesty that is the blue rhinoceros. We photographed this example in its natural habitat of Birmingham, Michigan, but the mighty blue is also known to congregate in Greenwich, Connecticut, and Newport Beach, California, or wherever there are sufficiently snooty feeding options. At 5,438 pounds, our estoral blue LandRover Range Rover Sport SVR weighs about as much as a full-grown white rhinoceros, with which it shares its unlikely agility and propensity to charge. This powerful beast, says its maker, can lap the Nürburgring Nordschleife in an impressive, and slightly comical, 8 minutes and 14 seconds, quite quick by the standard of pachyderms with horns. We have come to grips with the idea that car buyers are attracted to a breed of 2.5-ton performance brutes. With the Porsche Cayenne turbos and AMG, and SRT branded bulls roaming the automotive savannah, it was only a matter of time before LandRover birthed its own version. To do so, LandRover has turned up the boost on its familiar supercharged 5.0-liter V8. At 550 horsepower and 502 pound-feet of torque, the SVR's engine pumps out 40 more horsepower and 41 more pound-feet of torque than the version in the standard Range Rover Sport Supercharged. And it's only 26 pounds heavier than the last Sport Supercharged we tested. So, each of the SVR's horses has 3/4 of a pound less rhino to move than the non-SVR. That helped the SVR hit 60 miles per hour in 4.3 seconds and the quarter mile in 12.8 seconds, knocking 0.3 seconds off each of the standard supercharged models' times. The last BMW X5M we tested posted a 3.8-second run. Maybe a few tenths doesn't matter much. But it is worth noting that a Dodge Viper we tested in 2005 got to 60 miles per hour in 3.8 seconds. These are strange and wondrous times. Thing is, the standard Range Rover Sport Supercharged is already a ridiculously quick brick at 4.6 seconds to 60 miles per hour. And that model is sport right in the name. What use is there for the SVR? Judging by our track tests, not much. The SVR wears the same 275/45 R21 Michelin Latitude Sport all-season tires that are optional on the Sport Supercharged. And so the SVR could better its less expensive brother by only 0.01 grams on the skid pad, 0.87 to 0.86. Using the same braking system as the regular supercharged model, our SVR actually took longer to stop from 70 miles per hour, 179 feet versus 167. But if the SVR isn't a great deal quicker or grippier than the Sport Supercharged, it does feel a little more tensed and eager. It uses the same excellent 8-speed automatic transmission, the same suspension setup, the same 4-wheel drive system, and the same electrically assisted steering system as the lesser sport model, but LandRover has modified them for more immediacy and responsiveness. For example, LandRover has tuned the Sport Supercharged suspension system, 4-corner air springs, adaptive magnetorheological dampers, and hydraulic anti-roll bars, for better body control and less roll. Further, the company swapped out the rear subframe bushings for stiffer pieces. The result is impressive. The SVR feels competent and spry, if not exactly lithe or overtly playful. There's a small penalty to ride quality compared with the standard Sport Supercharged. Sharp, high-frequency bumps are now felt instead of just heard, but the overall package still feels comfy enough not to call too much attention to itself. We presume that increased attention is part of what buyers are looking for if they were shopping for an SVR. We're not sure all the other Range Rover and Range Rover Sport drivers in Birmingham pegged the SVR as something special. Certainly our version's $1,800 worth of intense blueness probably piqued some interest. But the rest of the get-up, a deeper, hungrier-looking front fascia, a new rear bumper cover for the quad exhausts, the blacked-out trim in front grille, and the curious black fender vents that appear to have auxiliary fender vents attached to them, is pretty subtle and tasteful. Well, except maybe for those fender vents. Alice, we digress. The interior gets less fettling. It comes with 14-way leather seats with large side bolsters and somewhat incongruent strips of reflective material on the seat backs and bottoms. Similar to the seats in our long-term 2014 Jaguar F-Type, the SVR's chairs have integrated, non-adjustable headrests, the lower part of which will poke tall drivers in the upper back. The seats are otherwise supremely comfortable. There's an ear-matching set in the rear outboard positions with a flat bench portion between them for the unlucky fifth occupant. The SVR comes standard with aluminum interior trim, but our test vehicle arrived with $2,300 of carbon fiber instead. In fact, our example came with $12,195 worth of optional extras, upgraded sound system, adaptive cruise control, etc. That brought the total to a stunning $124,540. But rhinos don't come cheap. That $12,000 in optional niceties is on top of the $31,400 that the SVR tacks onto the Sport SuperCharged price. Is the SVR worth it much over the Sport SuperCharged? Of course not. But we're deep in the land of diminishing returns, and the Sport SuperCharged is already more performance SUV than even seemed possible a decade ago. But let's say you appreciate the safari pedigree of a LandRover but also want to cut a lap of an evil, old German racetrack, or maybe you want to stand out from the herd at your local Rover heavy watering hole. You will want just such a beast.